Okay, welcome guys. Hello. We are in Palm Springs live at the AIFD Symposium 2025, and I have two special guests with me to help me bring this vehicle to life. I got Ellie LaFever and Vonda LaFever.
Hey,
hello.
Dynamic duo of the Business and Flowers podcast, as well as Flower Clique. Everybody knows them very well. So thank you guys for joining us.
Yes, good morning. How are we doing?
We're good. We're going through it right now. We got a huge studio audience live in front of us watching.
Yes.
They're going crazy. They're going nuts.
We got the mountain view in front of us too. It's beautiful.
Palm Springs is great. It's hot, but it's a really nice place.
and of course, beautiful flowers everywhere.
Beautiful flowers everywhere.
Of course.
So this is the 60th anniversary of the AIFD Symposium.
No, I'm going to give you a correction there.
Is that wrong?
This is the 60th anniversary of AIFD. AIFD was founded in 60 years ago.
Okay.
But this is actually the 58th symposium.
Ah.
So, because next year, Elevate, which is the symposium that I will be helping to direct, is the 59th.
Amazing.
So I think a lot of people are confused with that.
Yeah, so it took them 2 years to kind of get a symposium
Correct.
together.
Yeah.
Very cool. And so the theme of this year is
Reflections. But there are designed through the decades. That was like a contest building up to it. And
Got
then
it. And
there
then
was
all
a session of that as well.
and the themed parties, all of that.
There's been 80s, there's been 70s. Is there more themes coming out throughout the rest of the week?
Disco.
Disco's coming?
Let's go in the desert.
This is
Very
a fun
cool.
show. I like this show. It's a different vibe than the rest of the kind of conventions and trade shows in the industry. You get a different crew, different crowd. The designers, they're very much international based. So it's a lot of fun to just meet new people, see a lot of the same celebrity type florists and really big names in the industry that people look up to and learn from. So it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, Jacob McCall kicked it off last night.
I see him right there. Look at him. He's walking back there.
There he is.
Hello.
That's the fun part of this. You can
Woohoo,
just
there
see
he is.
people just walking around. Oh, wait. Do you see it? Do you see what I see?
Oh, is
I
that
see,
Renee?
I see the president.
Ooh, here we
Commander-in-Chief.
go.
She's just walking by. Just happened to be.
Can you-
You have a minute?
Can you join us, Renee?
Good morning, everyone.
Yeah. Renee Tucci, everybody.
Woo.
She was just inducted as the new president.
Yes,
Oh,
I
AIFD.
think the technical term is installed.
Installed?
Yes. As opposed
I don't know
to,
if I like that.
well, our new members are going to be inducted this evening.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah.
And they're going to be inducted into our membership, and then I was installed as an officer, as the
Interesting.
president. Yes.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
Well deserved. I'm
Thank
sure
you.
you'll do an amazing job.
Thank you.
What does that exactly entail?
So I'm technically the president of the board of directors, and we work with our management company to manage the organization all year long. So we're not just Symposium. It is our biggest event of the year and
Sure.
the highlight and our reunion and everything that we look forward to. But we do so much more throughout the year, including so many educational programs, all of our marketing. We have career development. On the spot, I've forgotten everything that we do, but I promise you we do so much.
Yes, no, we all know you guys do a lot. And just to put this together has got to be a massive undertaking. So I can imagine everything else that comes with it.
Yeah, we have a lot of really amazing things in the work. Our partners are supporting us in creating some advanced education, which is going to be coming out on our platform very soon. We're going to be putting out more free content on YouTube.
Amazing.
So we're about to roll out a lot of really cool things. And we're also revamping our emerging professionals group, which is aimed at anyone that is sort of new to the industry. They don't have to be young. They just have to be emerging into the
Okay.
profession. So, for example, I have a student who, believe it or not, she's calling it her encore career. She is 75 years old, and she is
Wow.
proud to be aiming to test for AIFD next year. And she is an emerging professional. So the age doesn't matter, but it's just about, are you looking to get into the industry? We want to provide a network for you to connect to. And so that's one of the things I'm really excited about. And that's one of my
awesome.
goals this year.
I'm very curious if she has like a specific design style or something like that because
She
of her age.
does. Well, she's been doing a lot of studying with the icon Hitomi Gilliam.
There you go.
And so she's focused on that sort of style. And she puts her own spin on it. So I don't know that her age has anything to do with it, but that's a really interesting question. And now I'm going to look at her designs differently.
No, I wonder.
Yeah.
Well, that's kind of part of the decades of this show is that kind of looking through the designs and the presentations and the history of the of AIFD through the decades.
Oh, yeah. We are kicking off our 60th year big time. I can't wait for our final night, our leadership gala. The theme is to celebrate the 60th year, shine bright like a diamond, because diamond is the icon or the symbol of 60 years. So I'm pretty sure I'm going to need to bring my sunglasses for all the razzle dazzle glitter that we're going to have.
You got Rihanna coming?
Amazing.
Maybe. You never know.
Okay. That's awesome. Well, thank you again for everything you're doing for AIFD, and congratulations for what's to come and everything that you're doing.
Thank you.
I don't want to. I know you're busy. I don't want to keep you if you have time, but if you hang as long as you want.
Well,
we're not going to kick you out.
a shameless plug. I have to just say, this is the start of my presidential year, and the conclusion will be next year in Orlando, 2026. So if you're not here right now, block it off on your calendar. Make a plan to be there. It's going to be the first week of July in Orlando. And I don't know how it gets bigger and better every year, but I promise you it does, and it will.
Nice. Amazing. Awesome.
Yes.
All
Super
right.
exciting.
Thanks
Renee.
Thank you, Renee.
The crowd goes wild for Renee. So, Vonda,
Yes.
she set you up right there.
Uh-oh. Yes, she did.
You're the one that's going to be actually in charge of the symposium.
Yeah, one of the responsibilities as an incoming VP, which was Renee 2 years ago, was to ask somebody to be in charge of symposium 3 years later. And so she asked me and Randy Wooten. Randy Wooten will be the program chair, and we're doing symposium in 2026. It'll be called Elevate. The whole idea. Elevate. And it's all about when you elevate others, you elevate yourself. It's July 2nd through the 6th. So like Renee said, mark your calendar. And we have some amazing lineup, which we can't tell you right now. Sorry, it's a secret.
No sneak peeks? No teasers?
No. Well, there's going to be a teaser. If you're here at Symposium, you'll see it just in a couple days.
You'll have to wait and find out then.
Got to keep some suspense going.
So if this is the 60th AIFD, what number is this for you guys?
When did you get inducted? Let's start there.
I was inducted in 1989. This is my 35th year. I'm a life member, which means I've been in AIFD and attended at least 10 symposium.
That's what a life member means, at least 10.
Unless you're a past president or president, they can get a life membership earlier.
That's funny. I saw the life thing on the badge, and I was curious what that meant. I'm glad you answered that.
It just means I'm old, right, Ryan. That just means I'm old.
The mentor badge, like the other show?
Yes, right. Yeah. Something like that. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so 1989. And how many years do you think you skipped?
I skipped a few years when you guys were young, when I was raising a family.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to think the first year I brought you with, because you've been coming to Symposium since you were at 9 or 10, maybe?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Just little Ellie running around the workroom. Is that what it was?
It was for a while, but actually we put her to work. I was on the membership committee, and so we tallied everything by hand, and so we would set her at the desk, and she would have to count the tallies.
Yeah, like back in the old days where you had like the circle standardized test.
Okay.
They did that for scoring for testing, and so there was a back room where everybody was tallying up.
Wow.
And so that's where I started.
She did. Every year, that's where she started.
But it was also a free trip for my friends and I, so we'd have a little barter where, I would get to go to San Francisco, Boston, Miami, all these amazing places with my friends, but they would definitely put us to work before we got to go explore.
First things first.
Yeah.
Put in your time, and then you get to Rich Savaggio always said, work hard, play hard. And so that's what we kind of kept to.
I think that's like the motto of this industry.
Yes, it is. You're right.
Have to.
That's definitely the vibe I get from a lot of people in this industry.
Yeah. So I think last night's program really struck a chord for me with Jacob's, I think it was called Legacy, right? Mm-hmm. And in the beginning, there was all these pictures from probably the past 60 years, I would assume.
They were. Mm-hmm.
And I knew so many of them just from coming here for so long. So it was a really profound moment. I'm like, wow, I'm not that old, but this is, it was crazy. And then we were talking last night about all of it. And I was like, one day that we're going to see, especially when it was going through people that have gone before us now, that's going to be us someday, you know? And it's crazy how tight knit we all are and how we're going to be here for each other forever, basically, in theory. So it's just really emotional. I think it was a great way to kick it off last night with setting the tone for what's your legacy, like reverse engineering what you want that to be and taking the steps to go forward.
And I think you really kicked off that theme of family, because we are the floral family. And some people really don't have a big family.
This is their family.
This is their family. And I've had several people say to me, I need to come every year because this is my family. It's like a big family reunion.
Yeah.
And it's so true. It's so true.
So I had that question. I had a few questions typed out for you, just kind of digging a little deeper, but I would assume you just answered it. What does AIFD represent to you beyond the letters?
It's the family. It's the continuing education.
Yeah.
It's just you come every year and not only, embrace your family and spend time with them and have fun, but it's really learning and giving you motivation to go on to the next year. I used to do that when I had the flower shop. When we would go, it was like, oh my gosh, learned all these new techniques and maybe marketing ideas that next year you're going to implement these and go forward. And
it's so much bigger than your small town or your small shop or whatever it is. You really get to see the full scope of and the impact.
And people who have the same goals that you do, right?
Yeah.
The same love, the same passion.
Yeah.
And it's the only professional organization for floral artists, which I think is amazing. And to be part of that, I think is, something I'm very proud of.
That's a great way to put it. The only one for floral artists, because that definitely sums it up in a good way. Because it feels more focused on that versus the business side of it and certain things. Obviously, there's tons of business and learning and things like that, but it definitely is about the connections and learning from each other and the art within the flowers for sure.
And so you were on the membership committee for a long time, right? You got to see all the students testing and all of that.
Over 12 years. I was
12
in
years.
Mm-hmm.
What do you say to somebody who's listening who either, one, maybe doesn't think they need to get AIFD, or two, is nervous to, or three, tested and didn't get it? Like, do you have some words of wisdom and inspiration for that?
I think it's really a goal for self to be testing for AIFD. I think it's one of those things that I didn't take formal education, and others have taken formal education, and it's just elevating to the next level. And I think it's really important that we do that for self. I mean, if you're in a small town, you're like, oh, why do I need this? Well, what about doing it for yourself? Your town might not recognize that. But as Renee said, we're doing marketing and trying to let people know the importance of being an AIFD certified accredited member. And so I think that's a part of it too. And if you're nervous, you're going to be nervous. I mean, we've had people who've tested 2, 3, 4 times because they don't test well. And they haven't been detoured. They're like, I know I don't test well. We had one when I was doing testing that was so nervous that she started with her body flowers and she crawled under the table.
Oh, wow.
And so, because she's just like, I have to get in my own space. I just have to get away from watching everybody else in the room. So I think just, keeping your confidence within you and do what you do best.
You can really tell the testing is tough, especially once you talk to the people who just tested. They're always the most hardest on themselves and they're always doubting themselves. But once they get inducted, they realize that they had done it. They had it the whole time. But it's hard to.
It's a hard thing.
And everybody, I think the payoff is so worth it, because even at the expo yesterday, there was, Heather and all these people that come by and they're like, I'm getting inducted this year. And it's just the joy that they feel it's so worth it. So you just have to play the long game and get in a good headspace. And
I like that. Play the long game. And it is a headspace and a mindset. Both.
Do you have any advice for someone who maybe didn't pass their first test and are maybe not considering testing again?
I would say do it. I mean, take the time and study, really look at what was your weakest area, because normally when you do an evaluation, you can see what you were most need of improvement, and take a look at those and go, okay, I'm going to really study to be able to have a really good line, or whether it's you need tension, come up with something that's your strong point and focus on that in the next year and build on it and just be ready. Have somebody help you. I mean, don't do it on your own. I think that's the key.
Have a mentor, have somebody guiding
There's
you.
so many AIFD members who will be your mentor that, like, I'm going to do some arrangements, and then they send them to, I've had many people send me the designs, and you give them critique, with Zoom now and, internet, it's like, you should reach out to a mentor to help.
So first of all, who are your mentors?
Oh boy.
And how did you forge those relationships? Because I think a lot of people want to have a mentor, but they don't know how to ask, or it's awkward, or they don't want to put it on them.
So the way you make the connections are here at AIFD Symposium. I think that is the biggest source. Or if you're at a state or local event and you meet up with an AIFD member, make a connection. Say, I'm really thinking about that. That person will take you under their arms and really embrace you and help you along the path. I think that's it, is making the connection first and foremost. My mentors are many. I remember my very first symposium meeting someone named Herb Mitchell. He was a writer for a magazine, and Herb said to me, I was like starstruck. I'm like, oh my God, this is Herb Mitchell.
There's a lot of that, yeah.
Wow. And he just said, hey, congratulations for being here. He said, just remember, be yourself. You will find and connect with people who are like you, and they will get you where you need to be because they're going to care for you and help you along the way. And it was so true, so true. And one of the first people I met at that symposium was Marie Ackerman, who became a really good friend of mine. Yeah. And you guys saw her in the presentation last night, brought tears to my eye, of course. But,
Yeah.
And Ellie was part of that presentation too,
Yeah.
Shine, that was talked about. So
Iconic.
Yes, she is.
Do you recall your testing, what you did? Do you remember how long, what you did for your test?
Well, see, I tested when there were two phases. There used to be phase one, which was you had to submit a portfolio.
Right.
So you had to do, pictures and send those in, and then it was critiqued. If you got past that, then
Do you still have that portfolio?
I do.
Okay.
I do.
Did you have to mail it physically to them?
A
And then they
physical
mailed it physically back?
mail. Yes.
Wow.
Yes, and you didn't know until it came back to you whether you passed or not.
Oh.
So it was the days before email. So you're like just dying. You submit it. I think we had to submit it in April, and you didn't hear until August. So it was like killer.
That's rough. Yeah.
So I do remember that. And then after you passed your portfolio, you went to what was called phase two. You went on site, and that's when you did designing on site.
And were you just confident you were going to knock it out of the park?
No, and you got to bring all your stuff. You brought your own flowers, your own containers.
Oh,
at that
totally
time.
different.
So totally different. Yes, and then there was one that was a surprise package. So it was totally different then.
That's fun.
Yeah, it was interesting.
I'm curious, with that being what it was now, and obviously it's so different now, what else has been the big changes from then to now?
For testing, it's mostly that now you take an online test that is really more about principles and elements. It's basic knowledge. And then the second part is you walk into the room and you get, now you know what it is the night before, I guess. And that didn't used to be. It was a total surprise package. So things have just kind of ebb and flow. There's a little bit of difference.
And everybody gets the same exact thing?
Same exact containers, same exact flowers.
And what's the time limit?
4 hours to complete 5 designs.
Okay. Okay.
So I think that's still the same.
Yeah.
What else besides the testing has been a big difference that you've seen?
Well, in 2015, when Marie Ackerman and I were doing the symposium, which was called Journey, and it was in Denver, it was the first time we did classes. Otherwise, it was just all main stage programs.
Oh, wow.
And then at that point, we did breakout sessions, and that's where education began, that we would do little breakout sessions with business or design hands-on classes, that type of thing. So that's been, I think, the biggest change.
Yeah.
Is there's less main stage programs and more opportunities for people to really get upfront and personal with
And that's
either
amazing that
designers, lectures.
you were part of that change. That's really cool.
Oh, that was
And foster those more intimate conversations with people rather than just looking out from a distance.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. And Brian Vetter was what we called the principal back then, and he's doing it again this year. So it's kind of fun to see that come back.
What do you mean the principal?
Well, somebody has to be in charge of making sure all those
all the
classes
teachers.
get where they are, and that you
Got
have
it.
a ticket to get in the door, and you're in the right class. You got to be in the right seat,
There's a lot of levels and ranks and stuff. How many, what's the
how many
hierarchy?
positions?
Yeah, we don't have enough time on this podcast. Let's just say, Ryan, that's crazy.
Is there something that people underestimate about AIFD or misunderstand?
Misunderstand, I would say, because there's a misunderstanding that people who are AIFD maybe are snobbish or they think they're so good. That's
They've
not
got
true.
those letters behind their name.
Exactly. They've got those letters and they think they're something. And I think there's nothing further than the truth. I think AIFD members are all inclusive. They don't feel like they're better than anyone else. Well, let's say there are exceptions to the rule on every single organization. So, wherever you are, you might have a few of those, but I would say 99.9% of the people are very inclusive and they want you to succeed. That's it. They want you to be successful.
That's awesome. You can definitely feel that once you're here and you talk to people. It definitely feels that way. I would agree with you that there is maybe a little bit of a visual from the outside of like a step up, almost like the higher education level almost, but it's definitely the opposite once you're here and you're actually talking to people and you're just mingling.
And the energy is just so uplifting. Like I see her as soon as she gets here, she's just like in the zone, like upbeat.
Oh, there's
I mean,
two Vondas?
she's just another level,
Okay.
She's like energized by all of her best friends here and all of the pretty flowers and all of everything. The energy just really is so positive rather than an air of,
That's
snobby
beautiful.
or anything. So.
Yeah, well, thanks. I'm glad I'm not snobby or anything.
No,
Yeah,
not at all.
definitely not.
So what's changed for you, Ellie, since 9 years old and running around the workroom?
What's nice and comforting is like it still feels the same.
Okay.
Right, where it's like it's still that same happy, uplifting feeling to me. I think, back then I it was very surface level. It was just I was Vonda's daughter and doing whatever I needed to do behind the scenes for her. But
That's got to come with perks, though, being Vonda's daughter here.
Yeah, I mean, of course, it's
Yeah.
the best, and I was always the youngest. But now I think it's comforting to know. I mean, obviously things have changed. Obviously you have built upon, the workshops and the education and reiterating the formatting, but it still feels the same, which I think is good.
Yeah,
You
I
know?
agree. Yeah, that's good to hear.
It's not like, oh, I don't want to go to AIFD this year. It's always, yeah, I wanted to come.
You did. Yeah,
You
I love
sucked
it.
me right in. You knew what you were doing when I was 9.
Well, I didn't, not necessarily, but I just needed to have you beside me because I couldn't leave you at home.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I went to horse camp for a few years.
Oh, you did?
And then I came back.
Horse camp, is that what you said?
Yeah.
Ah, cool.
Yeah.
Do you do what's it called when you do the dancing on the horse or anything like that?
No.
No, nothing crazy.
No.
You could tell because she came back to flowers.
Yeah.
Ryan, she didn't love the horses.
No, now
Let's
I'm just
go.
imagining she's going to come out on stage on a horse for the next AIFD.
Okay, I have 3 quick rapid fire
rapid fires.
questions
Let's do it.
to close up. Okay, what flower represents your personality? Not what what flower you like the most. Your
Ooh.
personality and why.
Oh, man, you're making me think now.
Yeah, that's a deep one.
What about you, Ryan? Come on.
I'm in the same boat. I'm trying to think of one.
I was hoping
I'm trying to
you'd
think of
go
a good
first.
answer.
Yeah, something deep, right?
Okay,
Right,
I'll go
right,
first.
Okay,
You've
good.
had time to think about it. So
No.
yeah. Go ahead.
A hydrangea, because I need a lot of water and I'm delicate without water,
Okay, that's fair.
or comfort. Or
That's good.
I'm sensitive.
That's
I'm
good.
sensitive.
I'm going to say mine's a rose
Okay.
because usually when you get to know me, you don't know me
Yeah.
because I'm really tight, and
Yeah.
then it starts to open, and the more it opens, then the more you know me.
Yeah, I like that.
Beautiful.
That's good.
I want to say a ranunculus or something like that, where it's or something with layers or
Oh yeah.
a lot of petals.
Same.
You know what I'm
Layers.
thinking? Yeah, there's more to it than the surface
have
level.
Layers.
Okay.
Ogres have layers.
What's your favorite design tool?
Oh, I have a new design tool that's
I
my
know.
favorite, and I don't have it right here with me.
Do you know the name of it?
Boom, chop, chop, boom.
Chop, chop, boom. They are the best clippers money can buy.
They were here at the expo, and they are absolutely amazing. You can cut through a thick willow stem like it's butter, and Ellie says that you could cut your finger off.
Chop a
and
finger off.
Oh, nice.
Absolutely, for
There,
sure. But
So I
Is that the brand or is that just the product name?
think that's a brand. They're from Germany,
Cool.
and they're just
they were here
Yeah.
at the expo.
Very fun. Okay, chop, chop, boom. What's your favorite tool?
Now it's that one, for sure. Okay. AIFD in one word.
amazing.
Elevate.
Oh,
There we
Ryan,
go.
you got it. Way
Gotta
to
cue
go.
a sound effect for that one.
Yeah.
So that was the first half of this episode. We are still live here at AIFD. We'll be joining back a little bit later with a couple more special guests. I do want to quickly, once again, remind everybody, July 2nd through 6th in Orlando, Florida next year. Save the date for AIFD Elevate. Vonda, Renee, and the team are going to do some amazing things. Ellie's going to bring out a horse. It's going to be a lot of fun. So
Jet Fresh is going to fly in with a lot of flowers.
we're going to be there. Yeah, you know it. We'll definitely be there. We look forward to it. So thank you guys.
appreciate
We
it.
appreciate you.
Yeah, thank you.
Filling in
Thanks,
for
everybody.
Mimi and my dad.
We miss them
holding it
very
down.
much.
We wish they were here. But
Yeah.
Bye, guys.
They wanted us to zoom in. They at least wanted to just hear it, but they're here in spirit. So we appreciate you guys holding it down for them.
Yep,
All right.
of course.
Thanks, Ryan.
Thanks, guys. All right, welcome back. We're here, second half of the special Palm Springs live edition at AIFD Symposium in Palm Springs, California. I am here with two new special guests, Angelique Witcher of Accent Decor, and Lottie. What is your official title?
Program Director of Industry Relations and Education for Teleflora.
There you go.
It's a long one. Sorry.
So official.
It just sounds so nice coming out with the accent. It rolls off the tongue.
Why do you think I chose her
It's
as
a
our
good- it's a
as our
good choice.
co-host? I
Great
just want to
choice.
listen to her talk.
Thank you.
So, Lottie, what is your relationship with AIFD? Where do you fall into the mix?
Well, I came to AIFD probably maybe 6 or 7 years ago. And, I'd been in the industry for quite some time at that point. Pretty much as soon as I came here, my previous boss, who was also my mentor, Rich Salvaggio, he brought me here. And I literally walked in and decided that this is what I want. My people.
And the rest is history.
Yes.
Amazing. And Angelique?
My first symposium was 3 years ago. I didn't get a chance, even though I've been with Accent Decor for almost 8 years, to come until Chicago was my first one.
Okay.
And because of COVID and whatnot, I never made my way. And truly, it's like I was talking to some others earlier, you can be told about symposium, you can imagine what it would be like, but truly until you come and until you experience a main stage presentation, it's really unlike anything else. It's unlike any other conference in both in our industry and I imagine anywhere else.
Yes.
Definitely a standout conference as far as the other ones go. But Accent Decor has a good history with AIFD.
We do. Our co-founders, Frank and Margaret Hoffland, when they founded Accent Decor back in 1997, they started from the get-go. Margaret especially identified that AIFD, the designers, the skill set, the creativity, the use of florals was really where we needed to start aligning ourselves and really getting our name out there. And so we have been a part of AIFD ever since Accent Decor became Accent Decor.
Wow.
So throughout the years, it's just amazing to hear others who've been around for the 3 decades that Accent Decor has been around, to hear the back in the days when Frank and Margaret would come to Symposium, and truly she's like a celebrity, both in our offices and elsewhere. And it's just remarkable to see how the industry has evolved, but that Accent Decor has really stayed a mainstay both in product donations and supporting continuing education. And that's just a huge core value and pillar for us. And to see our products used in such unique and diverse ways that we would never have an opportunity to see them. Like I'm sitting here really looking at Jacob's designs from last night, and even we just finished the Teleflora main stage with Bjorn, and he highlighted some products in ways that I've never seen done before. So
Absolutely.
That in and of itself is a reason to come, just to see how designers push the envelope and use both mechanics and products in totally unbefore seen ways.
That's one of my favorite things about this conference is you see how they use all kinds of things, non-flower things, to create crazy structures and pieces and shapes and lines, and they really push themselves. And it's awesome to see like how creative they really are with what they have to work with.
Exactly. Yeah. It's amazing.
So Lottie, are you also a designer?
Yes.
Are you AIFD designer?
Not yet. I'm CFD.
Are you going to test?
I already did.
You did?
I did.
Fantastic.
Yes.
How do you feel about it? Yeah.
It's done.
See, that's what we were saying earlier. Everybody's you're gonna be your own hardest critic for sure.
Oh, absolutely. No, I'm Overthinkers Anonymous over here.
That's all of us.
How did you get started in the floral industry? Because you said your first symposium was 5 or 6 years ago, but you had been in the industry for a while. Where were you before?
I was at Teleflora. That was kind of my my start in the industry. Before that, I was in the hotel industry, and I used to do these very nice hotels, and I was the events director worker. And one day a lady came to me crying, her florist, who was not on my recommended vendor list, she learnt a lesson, decided that today was not the day that she was going to get flowers for her wedding, let's just say. So the poor girl sent her girlfriends down to the flower market in downtown LA. That's all they had. And so she showed up with buckets of Gerber daisies for me and said, "Can you help me?" And that was really my first, oh my God, what am I doing here? And I had no idea. All I knew was that you had to cover the foam. You couldn't see the foam.
Okay.
And we had some vases in the back, and somehow I got some foam. I don't know. I may actually have reused some old foam, but don't tell anyone I did that. It wasn't my best work, let's just say, but the feeling that I got from the bride when she walked in the room, that kind of stuck with me. And then one day, a couple of years later, I was in the Teleflora building and I met Rich Salvaggio in the elevator and we chatted on the way down from the 10th floor. By the time we got to the ground floor, he said to me, "I like you." And I said, "I like you too." And he said, "Give me your number." And about a month and a half later, he called me up and he said, "Hey, I've got a job. I don't know if you'd be interested, but, it's flowers. Come and check it out." So I did. And 18 years later, I'm still here.
Wow. I
That's
love
amazing.
that. I love that was your destiny, truly.
I feel like I found my people and I have the most amazing mentors and cheerleaders. I started, he said, if you're in it, you're in it. But you're going to learn from the beginning. So I was washing buckets for a while.
Sure.
And we used to have some photo shoots in the Teleflora studio. We have a studio in the office building, and we would have incredible designers, one of whom is sitting right in front of me, Vonda, LaFever, thank you. But I used to stand behind them and ask the names of the flowers. I used to ask, "Why are you doing that?" I probably was really annoying, but I learned from it and I retained that information. And, I kind of went away and practiced myself. And once we were able to do kind of classes, and I just took and learned as much as I possibly could. And I think it's an incredible industry, the way that people interact with each other. It really feels like a community, and I don't know that you would find that anywhere else. But I definitely found my people.
This is definitely a people first industry, and you definitely feel that when you come to these events, specifically this one. This is definitely one where it feels like there's a lot of community, there's a lot of long-term friendships and mentor-mentee relationships that become family. It's really cool.
I think that's always, you come into an industry because not all of us were born into this industry. You come in.
They are very similar in the sense of like a lot of people just kind of stumble into it, just like Lottie did.
Yes, and myself included. And even attending my first shows, it's really truly the friendliest industry, and I'm lucky that so many designers have kind of taken me under their wing, even though I am not a designer personally, just to introduce me to others in the industry and to make some meaningful relationships, which have led to really exciting partnerships. And while we've been with Teleflora and continuing education with Teleflora for a long time, Lottie and I have gotten to know one another over the years by attending these types of events.
Sure.
And then you and I as well. And Jet Fresh and Accent Decor is my favorite duo.
Yeah, no, I love it too. I'm here for it. We need pieces to put our flowers in, and it's a perfect combination.
Beautiful flowers need beautiful vessels.
That's right.
Yes.
That's right. I think it works very well. And this industry is very much that. It's like knowing the right people, and you build those relationships, and then they stay relationships for years to come, decades sometimes.
That's true. It's really true.
So as far as Teleflora's approach to sponsorships, but let's speak specific to AIFD, how do you decide what main stage presentations you're going to be involved with, or anything of the like, whether it's a workshop or what's the logic behind your selection process?
Really, I kind of go from the heart, if I'm being honest with you. There's certain design styles and certain speakers that speak to me, as you can tell by the accent, that, I'm European originally, but I get to experience with all of our incredible team different design styles. And so, I really just go with good people, a solid presentation, upbeat, and that's really kind of what it is. And workshops in terms of, what they're teaching, for me, it has to be something that is attainable for all skill levels. And so if you're a brand new student, you should be able to go in there and get something out of it the same way that a very skilled and seasoned designer would be. So that's kind of my thought process.
Mm-hmm. And aside from Bjorn's that we just saw, are you all sponsoring or involved with anything else?
Yes. So we have actually quite a lot going on.
And your name is on the bags. Teleflora is everywhere.
Who can say no to Laurie Novak? Come on.
That's true. We can attest to that.
Exactly. We're on the same boat.
We're all sponsors.
No, we decided to use our sponsor suite. We have, I think we did 9 classes over these 3 days. Everything from some hands-on to, cost of goods, to weddings, to a lot of things in our sponsor suite. But we're also sponsoring somebody on the spotlight stage who is an old friend of mine, a longtime friend, very dear friend. And I believe he's coming up on Tuesday. So it's nothing to do with flowers at all. It's very inspirational and positive and creative. And I felt that was really important when Laurie came to talk to me about it as well. Just, there is the design side and all of that stuff. But I also think that, just from designing myself, sometimes you have that little voice in your head that says, you're an imposter, you can't do this, and so I wanted to do something to help people to sort of feel creative and feel free.
It's beautiful.
I think that is another part of AIFD and specifically Symposium that differentiates it from other conferences for those who have not attended, is that aside from the educational piece and being able to see how these designers either portray different symbolism or tell a life story or give homage to those of the past, there's also so many hands-on experiences. So when you're here, you really get to not only see how different designers are interpreting the trends and the stories of the moment, but also get your hands in there and use product, both fresh and
it's definitely
hard.
one of the more in-depth, expansive conferences where there's so much to do, like you're saying, and it goes on 5-6 days. There's testing, there's the whole sponsor presentations, there's pretty much, you name it, there's something going on for it, and it's that stands out as far as the other shows go.
But I think, as if you're coming here as a designer or a student or a vendor, I think you can pick and choose. That's what I really enjoy about it. You can pick and choose what speaks to you. Personally, I just go to, as I say yes to everything, and I'll go to as much as I possibly can, and sleep when I get home.
Yeah, literally.
Who needs sleep?
Exactly.
Like you said earlier, work hard, play hard. Gotta
Yes.
do it.
Amen.
Yeah. How does an event like AIFD or the takeaways that you have, I think that's always the thing that is not necessarily the selling point to coming to a convention, but it's definitely the takeaway is you go back to your business, and how do you apply the things that you learned or the moments that inspired you and take it back to your team? And you brought your team along for the first time, and they've been wide-eyed the entire time.
I love it.
But again, you can't explain that until you've actually come. How do you take back you feel like reinvigorated in your passion for the floral industry, and then you go back, and how do you translate that into your day-to-day?
Well, it's really difficult because I know you go through the same thing as we go from this, and your kind of mind exploding, and then you'll be sitting in a meeting about the T word, or you're having to look at a spreadsheet and talk about budgets or what have you, and so you kind of have to switch your brain between the two. But to me, as long as if I can go away from here with a couple of things that I can use, whether it's in my personal life, in my design journey, or within my work within Teleflora, to me it's worth it.
Yeah.
I
feel like you can get a lot of small little things.
Right.
I call little nuggets.
Little nuggets, exactly.
Yeah.
And then those are really easily implemented there versus like a big picture where you change your whole business model or something like that. I can see this definitely bringing out more little things, because even when you're watching a main speaker, maybe it doesn't exactly resonate with what you're doing in your journey, but like you could easily see nuggets from that. You could easily take pieces from it and learn from it and grow from it. Absolutely.
But even, it's certain things, even if you think you're sitting there and thinking, I could never do that, or my customers would never buy that, you're still learning. Maybe you can take away a part of that your customers haven't seen before. But next week, they'll see it. And, you've already upped your order by $50 or whatever it is.
Sure.
Yeah.
And I'm sure maybe similar for you, the customer feedback aspect of attending these things and hearing, even yesterday during the showcase, we got some great customer feedback on products.
Yeah, definitely.
What if it looked like this, or what if the stand was able to do that? And that in and of itself, to be able to go back to our design team and share from the end user how we can improve or even create something new for them is well worth our while.
And adding on to that, this specific audience is a good international base. So you get a wide range of ages, audiences, and backgrounds that really just opens your eyes to a different perspective for sure that you might not have considered before. So what's next for you guys? What are you thinking of like the future for AIFD? What's in your long-term vision?
I mean, as far as we're concerned, we're supporting the organization, and I'm happy to do that. We just get so much out of it, and not all of it has a number or a specific bullet point, which is what we're used to dealing with. But we just get so much out of it, and to be able to, some of our marketing team are here, and just to be able to see their wide eyes, and I know that they're going to go back and talk about it from their own perspective. So I'm in.
Yeah, for sure.
No, definitely. I think we're only on, I feel like we've been here for 10 days, but hold on.
Day two.
Day two. I know. But you travel and the lack of sleep and all the things, but we're only on day 2. So I'm also just excited to see the rest of today's presentations and tomorrow's and Tuesday's, and just see what the nuggets are going to be this year.
That's right.
Because I always leave any conference, but especially Symposium, already thinking about what are we going to do next year.
Yes, exactly.
Well, at Elevate.
Oh.
July 2nd through 6th in Orlando. Make sure you guys are there.
Yes.
There'll be a lot of surprises, a lot of fun things planned.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And like Lottie said, I mean, and what I was saying earlier in the conversation, AIFD is core to who we are. So Accent Decor will continue to be involved in and continue to showcase product and support education, as it's so important.
How much different is like this show for Accent Decor compared to the other shows in the sense of like working with the designers and the scale and stuff like that? Like this is there's a lot of Accent Decor pieces in this venue. How does that compare to the other shows for you?
Well, I mean, there are different sponsorship levels. We are an elite sponsor for AIFD, which comes with a certain understanding and expectation as far as what we provide from a product standpoint. And I, for one, while I'm happy to do things like this to spread the word, I know that the single best way for us to market and share our product is the product itself. Right. So even seeing it on the main stage, but now sitting here in the lobby and seeing it all re-displayed and seeing everybody interacting with it, seeing what products they're gravitating towards, and just having those organic conversations is really nice. And we really try, at least in the last few years since I've been in the roles that I've been in, I'm challenging myself to not lather, rinse, repeat what we've done time and time again, and try to approach each show a little bit differently. Yeah. So whether it's with the people we're sponsoring on stages and whatnot, and at SAF, we'll be working with Talmadge McLaurin once again on his trend presentation. That is just, each and every one is unique in itself. And I really try to keep it as relevant and as current with what's going on in the world. And yes, the T word. So there's been a hot topic of conversation, but if anything, that's another reason to come together with your floral community, is to be able to commiserate on what's going on. It's not the most easy time, I would say, for those of us in our industry from all sorts of vantage points. And you and I were talking about that last night, and especially in Miami. And
it's everywhere, and it's not just one person. Everybody in this industry is feeling the effects of everything that's going on in the world. And yeah, there's unfortunately a lot of problems in the industry right now.
Yeah. So coming together and being able to talk through those things and even highlight different aspects of it, I thought was really interesting in some of the conversations I've had thus far.
Absolutely. Do we have any questions from our massive live studio audience?
I did bring some rapid fire questions.
We have rapid fire?
Since
Okay.
Ellie brought hers, I was like, oh, shoot, I'm going to need to have those. This one I'm going to ask more specifically to Lottie.
I'm scared.
No, don't be. Don't be. But I'm asking you because of the three of us, you are the designer at the table. What vase shape do you reach for the most if you're going to create an arrangement?
I like some curves.
Curves.
Okay.
Anything with some curves is
Like
my
an
favorite.
urn of some
Yes,
kind with like
yes.
a footed pedestal? or-
Yes.
Oh, very nice. I had to ask a vase question.
Okay, thank you.
I always forget that there's so many like phrases and words and lingo of just the vases and like urns and like you just said footed. What'd you say? Footed what?
Like a pedestal?
Footed pedestal.
yeah.
Sure. There's all kinds
Compote.
of things I got to learn more about.
Yeah, when Ryan places an order request, he's like, I would like some vases, please.
Yeah. Literally.
And then Olga
Whatever you got.
lets us know what exactly needs to happen.
I just look for what looks cool and I go with that. I don't know what it's called. I just like what it looks like.
That's true. That's true. Okay. And then additionally, what would be your dream flower destination or bucket list garden to visit?
Oh, there's so many. Do I only get one?
No. And you've been to some. So even you could tell us what's the best one you've been to.
Well, so far, Chelsea Flower Show.
I knew you were
was
gonna
my
say that.
go-to. I'm obsessed with it, but it's a lot. But and of course the travel. But a lot of the European places. So I would love to go to Amsterdam and do all of that. I mean, for me, as long as I'm with flowers and with people, But it's gardens for me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
What about you?
I don't even know gardens off the top of my head like that. I've never been to the Chelsea Flower Show. I definitely wanted to see that.
Oh, we have
I'm
to do
very,
it.
very-
Or a farm. Or a
farm,
festival.
Festival. These are all good questions.
Yeah.
You go ahead and answer. I'll think of my answer while you answer.
What's yours?
Well, I got to prepare my answer since I came up with the question.
Thanks a lot.
While I'm from France originally, somehow I've never been to Monet's garden in Giverny, and that would definitely be somewhere that I would love to go and just experience that. I appreciate his art so much, and again, to be surrounded by flowers in that way. Definitely the Chelsea Flower Show would be another one, but if I also would love to visit Ecuadorian or Colombian farms. I hear they're pretty
They're
great.
amazing.
Oh,
Yeah,
yes.
no. And
Yeah.
honestly, once you visit a South American farm, it really changes your perspective on buying flowers. Like you have you understand a lot more. A bruised rose is looked at differently. There's a lot of appreciation that goes into seeing how hard they work, how they live, how they operate. It's really eye-opening for sure.
No, the journey of a flower is something that time and time again we say at these conferences is how can we really evoke that? The amount of steps, the hands, the process, and really the journey. Even when we went to convention in Miami and saw what happens even just once the flowers reach the airport and then stay refrigerated, but so many other steps happen before that we can't even begin to understand why flowers are, if some people think that flowers are expensive, there's a reason behind that. And I feel like educating people on that, especially outside of our industry, feels important.
I agree.
We could do a whole other podcast on that alone.
Seriously.
Maybe that's what we'll do. Maybe that's an idea. Sounds good to me. Was there another rapid fire?
There was one that Ellie asked earlier, what flower,
Yes.
What
so what flower
flower?
represents you guys?
your personality or like
Style.
or...
For me, it has to be ranunculus.
Mhm.
Because I'm so sorry.
No, but tell your answer.
the paperiness of the petals is I'm just obsessed with.
Yeah, I agree.
They don't always play nicely for me, but I do. You can look at them.
What color are you imagining right now?
Oh, pink.
Pink, of course.
Yeah.
Perfect. Is that your answer? She's still your
Sorry, I
answer?
stole you.
No, because ranunculus was your answer.
I mean, it was.
in the earlier episode. So I was thinking anemone, and mainly because of the contrast.
Mm-hmm.
I think that for people who know me, I can be one way or another, but it's kind of like an all or nothing kind of thing. But I like the contrast between the center of the flower and the color of the petals. And
Do you like the classic anemone or like the Levante, the fancy new ones that are like ruffly anemones?
I like them all. Yeah. No, and after I did my Jet Fresh podcast episode, you all sent me purple ones and red ones, and I'm a diehard Georgia girl. So a black center with red petals, those really spoke to me. So I loved
Bulldogs.
them.
That's great.
I'm a bulldog.
That's awesome.
Not an English bulldog, but I guess we technically are.
Yeah,
I guess we technically are.
I like that. Awesome. Well, I think that's good enough for what we got today. I really appreciate you guys filling in, joining me on stage today and helping me get this done. Thank you again to our studio audience, who is thank you.
Oh,
Full of talented
we
designers.
weren't really sure
and
if anybody
friends.
was listening.
Yeah, they got us. You can't see it, but we're out in the middle of the hallway. So, but
Well,
one
thank
more
you for
time,
having us.
thank you again for having us, AIFD. Thank you for everything. Thank you for putting on this amazing event. Don't forget, July 2nd through 6th, Elevate in Orlando. Be sure to be there. We'll see you guys all there, and we'll talk to you next time.
thank you.
Thank you.